Ahoy! I'm the comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
Hello there. I'm History of the Flash, but you could call me JD.
I'm Tyler, also known as Comic Boy.
We don't even have to introduce him anymore.
Yeah.
Like he really doesn't even feel like a
Yeah,
guest.
he
He's
just
just
comes
like
here.
that. He's like the neighbor kid that just shows up on the sitcom all the time. And like this is
Yeah.
just who he is.
And welcome to Hero Story
I
episode.
became pretty much a regular.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Pretty much.
this is episode 118, I think. We didn't actually.
We hope.
We didn't look it up beforehand.
This is one of the few times where I have not confirmed what episode number it is. So
I'll check.
Usually I have to check for Hunter.
I think
because
it's
he's terrible
118.
He's bad with numbers.
Yeah, I am. While Tyler's checking,
and apparently house
118,
fires,
yeah.
which you might find out about later in this episode. Tease,
that's
tease.
right.
Yeah, and then I'm stealing Hunter's role here in the beginning. In this
So-
episode, we're going to talk about Miles Morales Spider-Man PS5, or for all of us PS4. But Miles Morales Spider-Man video game that came out this week.
A lot of news this week as well. After that,
lot of news this week, and
a couple big
some
comics.
definitely big comics.
For those of you who just want to skip ahead to the comics, you can look at the timestamps description below. If it's not there, it should be there soon. So just keep on refreshing or waiting a little bit. This week's comics are Captain America number 25, The Amazing Spider-Man number 53, Death Metal number 5, Batman number 102, Rorschach number 2.
103, 103.
Oh, 103, my bad. There's the bad number part. Rorschach number
Happens.
2. And is that everything?
You
Oh,
got
Aquaman number 65.
Aquaman.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah,
At least his
yeah.
last issue.
It's a big week of comics. It's a big week of news, and it's a big week in gaming.
For a long time. We haven't had that since September with the Avengers game. But yeah.
So
At the end of the episode,
this-
I was spammed multiple times. So if I remember, you guys really want to hear this fire story that I teased at the end of last episode? I got like 30 people DMing the day the last week's podcast released. JD,
First of
you
all-
said you had a few too, right?
for like at least 15. I can't believe that many people actually listened to the end of the podcast.
Yeah, that was like the last.
We were rambling.
Yeah, we were just talking
I
about random
loved it.
things.
I found I love when it just goes from whatever the topic was to just nonsense.
We
I find that. How did you get to Munchkins?
because why does Tim Hortons have like they copy
Timbits.
Munchkins, but they don't call it
Timbit.
Timbits? That
Here we
sounds so
go
stupid.
again.
That sounds like bear poop in the woods. Timbits.
I've never heard of Munchkins before, so there we go.
Oh, it's
We'll have to look
listen.
up who came first because Tim Hortons has been around for a while, I think.
Yeah, but America runs on Dunkin', so
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Canada runs on Tim Hortons. So
That's
There we
not
go.
as catchy.
yeah, okay. Timmy's.
But yeah, so a lot of people listen to the end of the podcast for some reason, and yeah, so they want to hear Hunter's fire story of his time as an arsonist. Hunter started the fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that'll be at
I
the end of the
guess-
episode.
yeah,
So if you
well,
want to, if
yeah.
you just want to listen to that, go ahead and skip ahead.
Is
and
there
then-
someone out there who's like, I don't really care about the comics, I don't care about the game. All I want to hear is the Hunter fire story.
That's how you have to market this episode.
Yeah, we'll title it
The
Hunter's
Fire
Fire
Miles
Story.
Morales game review in parentheses Hunter fire story.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we'll start with
okay.
the game review though, for which I
Game.
imagine most people are
Um,
here for, judging by
All
the
right,
title of the video.
let's go with the basic thoughts right off the bat. Like, what was your your thoughts on the game right after finishing? Hunter, what did you think?
Well, actually, before I do mine, we actually brought Tyler on the show because he is a Miles Morales expert. I feel like
I'm happy
you've
to
read
have the
every
title.
Miles comic, right? Every appearance.
Ever? Yeah.
Yeah, so you've read
Yeah.
literally every single Miles Morales comic. So that's why you're on the show this week.
And every issue he's been in as well. Like
Or
the
just like on the side, like
issues
champions
and
and,
then
stuff like that.
champions. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to hear your thoughts first.
I could tell, I think 90 minutes in, that it was my favorite Spider-Man game. Like I could tell immediately, and it's not because of the story. The story was cool. The gameplay is probably the best it's been in a Spider-Man game
Oh,
ever.
Absolutely.
But like, I don't know, it's just so much about Miles that I've always loved, and seeing it like that and so much focus on I don't know. It was just, I loved it so much. I loved it so much.
And you didn't get it right away
No, because I thought I could wait. I really thought I could.
for the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eunice isn't the only one struggling to get one right now.
Yeah. I tried again today, but
I tried again today as well. Still nothing.
I've accepted my fate. 6 months from now, I'll have a PS5. Right now, I'm not losing sleep over it.
Fair enough. I did. I'm kind of the same way as Tyler. I love Miles Morales so much. Right off the bat, when you first swing No, I wouldn't say for the first time, because after the first boss fight, when you see Peter's face remodel, you have to do the oath kind of thing. After that, when you first start swinging and the music comes in, it's so good.
Yeah.
I got chills. Like, okay, yeah, this is good. And gameplay wise, best it's ever been. Agreed. Those are my first thoughts. GD.
Yeah, listen, a lot of the same. It's like when you raise your hand last in class and the professor calls on you and they're like, "What do you think?" And you're like, I agree with all the points that have been said. I definitely agree that it is some of the best gameplay, and really it has me hyped for the PS4
Sequel.
Spider-Man sequel because
Mm-hmm.
if this is how much we're stepping up the gameplay, like
And
it's
like,
shatter it.
there's
I thought the story was
no
very good, too.
way- There's no way that Spider-Man 2 won't have both of these characters. Like, there's no way they're gonna just go to Peter. I really think whatever the sequel is gonna be is gonna have Peter and Miles.
Well,
both
my
playable.
hope is, and has been since GTA 5, I would love a superhero
Yeah.
story where you could switch between characters and like, oh, I want to go play Miles' story, I want to go play Peter's story.
I
Like
think that's absolutely what's gonna happen.
that's so cool. I mean, oh god, it's awesome. Right off the bat, the music hit me. Oh man, I didn't listen.
Oh.
I mean, I listened to a little bit of the soundtrack beforehand, but not too much of it. Paisano outdid himself on this one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so
It's
good.
so good. It's like stupid good.
Yeah, it's like literally.
And the original
perfect
soundtrack was
Spider-Man.
incredible too. So they just took that, but they added a bit of hip hop to it, and
Yeah.
it's so good.
It's like it's like the Spider-Verse music. Like, it's very similar in some aspects, but I mean, it's obviously different. And the original songs they have it, like there's a song by Jaden Smith, I think, that plays at the very beginning that it's also very good.
Yeah, I mean, did anybody else get the feeling while swinging through the city with the hip hop music playing in the background of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen?
I was gonna find a way to
Thanks,
say it. but you
James
stole it.
Spot.
For those who don't know, there was a really I didn't watch the whole review. Obviously, I just saw that
Yeah,
clip, but there
it
was a
was
review
so
of
weird.
Spider-Man
Like
Miles
Game
Morales,
Spot.
and it was had possibly the cringiest line where the guy says that when you're swinging as Miles, you feel the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, which
Yeah,
I
and it
you
gave him
know,
goosebumps every time.
Yeah.
It's not even the worst line in the review. Like, there's so
there's
many
bad
bad.
the other
ones.
one,
it's
the
just
other one,
terrible.
the other one with what was it, the culture one that he said?
Yeah,
that
he
one was
said
bad
like
too.
Genki understands why Miles is Spider-Man, but can't empathize with his Black or Puerto Rican heritage. Like, what does that even mean?
That makes no
Because
sense.
that makes sense, because you remember when you were doing that side mission with the deaf girl and Genki's like, Miles, I was gonna communicate with you, but I don't understand your experience, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
Yeah.
you go on this one.
When he's like, listen, if you weren't Spider-Man, I probably wouldn't be your friend.
It's
So-
that's a
so
terrible
weird.
review. But yeah,
Yeah.
so the entire time I'm thinking like, who plays this game and their thought is exaggerated swagger, of
Swagger.
a black teen. You know, my
Like I
thoughts are
did.
like, this is badass, this is cool, like this
Yeah.
is fucking
got-
awesome. I'm swinging
I
through
mean,
the city.
I got goosebumps at times, but
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
but
The snow, like
not
the
for
setting is
same
so
reason.
cool.
Oh yeah, I love how it's
It's
winter. I guess we're
wintertime
starting off
New
this
York.
review. Usually we do these reviews, we go over the good first and then the bad. And
The
we'll
good is
keep praising
everything about this
notice.
game though. Like there's so
Yeah.
much good about this game. Like
Yeah.
literally I was never bored playing it.
Me too.
There were some daunting tasks that when you have to connect the wires or connect the things with the web, you know, where
Yeah.
you like for some reason my brain just turns off when I gotta find the other one. So I'll like get the first one, I'm like, where the hell is the other one? I can't find it
You
anywhere.
just gotta.
And then I redo it. I'm like, how did I not find that? But
oh, that was
I
obvious.
thought that they didn't make it like too repetitive. I mean, obviously a lot of things include like the Venom punch and all that, but they
Mhm.
kept like changing it up a little bit, which I thought was really nice. Like it feels like the game, and maybe because it's part of it not being that long of a game, that it never really felt that repetitive to me.
Did you beat it, JD?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you beat it or not. I know
Yeah.
Tyler
Yeah.
did in one sitting
uh,
or something like that.
One sitting, holy
2
crap.
days. It took me a day.
Okay, well,
was
yeah,
about
it
to say.
took me 3 days, I believe. But I played it a lot.
Legend has it, Harper's playing right now like a madman and trying to finish the game.
Yeah,
Get 100%.
yeah. Did you get 100%, Tyler?
No, I'm gonna wait till I get a PS5 for New Game Plus.
Oh,
okay.
Okay,
That
fair
makes
enough.
more sense to me. Yeah.
I'm
Fair.
trying to 100% like the side things, like finding the collectibles and like the prowler.
Yeah,
for
I haven't
stuff.
done those.
I
yet.
haven't touched one of those things yet. When I did the
okay.
when I did the first music thing with Prowler, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this on every side mission.
That's what I thought too. I think the first one's the worst because it's like out in the
With the
out
in the water. I was like, what the hell am I looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so confused over that. The other ones make way more sense. Like there's one of them For those who don't know what we're talking about here, there is this little side mission that you could do where you have to look for certain sounds in the city in certain areas. So the first time they show this, it's out in the water, but you don't know to look that way, which is stupid. But later on, when you're actually doing them, like it's clearly like look for a train, and then you got to go to the train. Like that's simple. And if you do them all, you get something really cool. You actually get
very
something
cool outfit.
Yeah, you get a really, really nice outfit. So it was.
What's been your guys' favorite outfit? Well, I mean, I know your guys' favorite outfits, but to the audience listening, what's your favorite outfit, dude?
We
Besides the
actually argued
original.
about this.
Yeah, we did.
I
Tyler and I
think
did.
Winter
I was about to say,
Miles-
wait, wasn't I in agreement that Winter
yeah.
Miles is superior?
Winter
I believe
Miles is
I believe
by
in Winter Miles
far-
superiority.
It's by far the best outfit in the game. It's just Miles's costume with a beanie, a scarf, earmuffs, and
So
like
fire.
leg
So
warmers.
fire.
It's so cool.
I've been wearing it
the
for every
coolest
mission since
thing.
I got it.
Me too.
It's okay.
It's so cool.
I prefer, if you're putting clothes on like the regular outfit, I prefer the Brooklyn Academy one
I like that one too.
where he has the jacket
I
and
also-
the backpack.
The Bodega Cat one. I mean, that's
Yeah.
That one's
that
pretty
one's
good too with the red
amazing. Yeah.
sweater.
yeah.
The ones I've been using most are, besides just the regular one, just nothing on it, red and black. I like that one. It's iconic.
In the beginning of the game, I was using the white one. I don't remember
The
name of
tracksuit.
it. Yeah, the tracksuit. I
Yeah.
didn't mind the tracksuit. I mean, it's a little flashy, but I like it.
Some of them
Tracksuit
are so
is
It
my
gives
favorite.
me the exaggerated swagger I need.
Yeah, the tracksuit's my favorite one actually.
It's not my favorite
really-
one, but it's pretty good.
that's-
I play with it in the beginning.
I think
Some
it's
of
a
them are
really
so
cool
weird
design.
to me though. I think like there's like the strike suit. That one is so
That one's dumb.
shitty.
That's
Yeah.
the
But it's
worst
but it's also wasn't that the same problem with Spider-Man PS4 where they kept introducing
Yeah.
suits and I'm like, why?
I'm pretty sure a lot of
Cyborg
them,
Spider-Man.
like those I get because they're from the comics, but a lot of the ones that Miles has in this one are like original designs. Like the Crimson Cowl makes zero sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
Crimson Cowl was originally Ultron in the comics. Like it has nothing to do with Miles Morales.
Well, Miles doesn't have a 2099 suit in the comics,
I
right?
don't think he
But
does. No.
he does in this game, and I think it's
Yeah.
cool.
It is
I mean,
cool. Yeah, that one's
Yeah,
cool.
it's very simplistic, but it's got the glowy eyes.
And also the end, Miles Morales, the end. That one's cool.
Yeah, that one's cool too, and that's an original
Old Man Miles.
design.
Yeah.
The Uptown Pride suit is just Miles' suit, but you replace the red with gold. That's
Mhm.
so cool. I like
That
that
one's
one a
really cool
lot.
as well. I like that one too.
That's one of my favorite ones too. So those would be my favorite
They're
suits.
all awesome. And
all
the
in
one
all,
you
this
get
game's
for the
great.
Prowler missions as well.
Hmm. You guys want to talk story
Yeah, so
without
I-
going too deep into spoilers too, for those who are nervous.
Okay. I thought that based on the side characters, I thought Prowler was very good, even though I have one problem that we talked about in the DMs, which we'll get to later. But I thought Prowler was handled pretty well in the game. I
Mhm.
thought that, like in the scene where you're fighting him and he keeps turning invisible and like beating the crap out of me.
Mhm. Yeah.
I thought his dialogue was very spot on of like what Prowler should be and like some things he was bringing up. Like I thought that was very good. And I know, Hunter, you said you prefer anti-hero Prowler a little bit. I like him as a villain. I thought
Me too.
he has the best like story when he's a villain.
I wouldn't say I prefer anti-hero. I just thought anti-hero was a take that I didn't expect for this game. And at first I was like, oh, but I thought he'd be the main villain, but he's
Me
not.
too. Yeah, I thought that was gonna be the turn, like the twist at the end.
So I was like, oh, that's strange that he's not the main villain. But as it went on, I was like, oh, I kind of like how he's almost like a bad mentor to Miles.
yeah,
He's trying to be
Because
the
he's
mentor
supposed to be
towards
because he's
Miles.
supposed to be the anti Uncle Ben, which is awesome. Like
Mhm.
that's always been a cool part of Miles' story to me.
Like he's trying to mentor Miles here, but at the same time he's saying things that don't sit right with Miles, and I like that a lot. Like he is a good guy who's doing bad things.
because it helps Miles come into his own as well. Like as Spider-Man, realizing like that he doesn't want to do what Uncle Aaron's doing. And
Yeah.
like I think we said this at some point, but it's awesome that you get like that his uncle is so different from Peter's uncle that like Peter would not be Spider-Man without Ben, but Miles, like Prowler and Aaron are pushing him this wrong direction where he probably can't be Spider-Man if he follows Aaron. It's
Yeah,
cool. I
exactly.
always like that contrast.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought he was probably the best side character in the game, besides maybe Gonky.
Genki, yeah.
Genki.
And
Jamie
okay,
thought it was Gonk.
Yeah.
okay. In my defense,
Destroyed from Star Wars.
in my defense, there's not really a defense, but in my head, for the last however long I've been reading Miles, I've always thought it was Gonk, and I've always said Gonk in my head. So every
I
time it's
thought-
like, "Oh, hey, Gonk,"
I thought it was Gank. That's what I thought.
I did too.
Which
I thought
is-
it was
which
Gank
is-
as well.
which
I didn't know it
is
was Genki.
which is fair. I feel like Gonk is also fair. I feel like we're overly hating on JD.
No, never. Gonk.
Oh, Gonk is like you kind of understand Gank because it's spelled Ganke, but Gonk. All right.
Gonk seemed right to me. Whatever. I don't care.
Garbage
But I
train.
thought he's a good side character too.
I thought it was a
he
lot
had-
of fun.
Yeah.
Like
Um,
he's cool.
Did anybody else hate the podcast that kept playing? I know they said you could change the podcast. I
Danica?
wasn't paying attention to that
You
part.
could change or you could turn it off. if you want.
The one that was debate. I mean, besides the debate was pretty funny. But
Mhm.
other than the debate, I was just like, every time she would talk, like she's like, "All right, make sure you stand up for 30 minutes." I'm like,
Oh, yeah, stand up
No,
for 30
I'm-
minutes and you're
I-
sitting in a chair for over an hour.
No,
I know
I'm binging this
exactly
game.
what you're talking about. I listened to like a
Yeah,
hundred of those
Danica
episodes.
was like, I thought she was an interesting. She was like an interesting get because she was in oh my god, the third Bendis run when Miles joined 616, and with her character in that run, it was that she ran this podcast and she was a huge fan of Miles as Spider-Man, and his costume got ripped during a fight, and then everyone found out he had the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, and then and Miles really hated that because he didn't want to be known as Black Spider-Man. He just wanted to be Spider-Man, and I thought that was the direction they were going to go, with her in this game. But I think the way they went was like, it was interesting. I know they wanted the contrast from Jonah, but I don't know. It was a little weird. I thought she would have more to do.
It's just like every time she came on, I'm like, is this building to something? And then when I got to the end of the
Yeah.
game, I'm like, okay, this built to nothing.
Yeah, I thought she would show up or
Yeah.
mean something.
Yeah,
the
like
same
maybe like
things
one of
that,
the
like, the
rallies or something. She was gonna show up.
J. Jonah Jameson stuff in the first game and in this game
Yeah.
too. He doesn't show up. He's in it for
Just-
like a scene, but
For
Yeah.
some reason, I'm still convinced from Spider-Man PS4 that he's voiced by Bryan Cranston. I don't know why, but every time he talks, I swear, it's, in my head, all I hear is Bryan Cranston, which makes me think like he would make a good JJJ. But
you would. I could tell.
But
in
yeah,
the
every time
one
he
cutscene
yells,
you see from him, and you only see the side of his face near the beginning of the game. He's very clearly modeled after J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, I mean every
like, you could
Jonah
tell.
after J.K. Simmons is J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, you
when,
can really
when,
tell.
when you strike oil, you don't got to keep digging, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of Tinkerer in the game? You thought that was a
Uh,
good original villain?
I thought it was.
Did you see it coming? Like I know.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Because I knew immediately once they said Finn, I know that the Tinker in the comics is named Phineas Mason. I was like, all right, well, whoever Finn is, that's the Tinkerer. and then her brother was Rick Mason. I'm like, well, that's obviously the Tinkerer. But I'm happy they didn't act like it was some massive reveal. They revealed it pretty early on.
They revealed
Yeah.
it right away.
Yeah.
Pretty
Like,
much.
they gave us-
As soon as you see the Tinker like in person, as soon
Well,
as Miles sees-
especially once it was
Yeah.
like a girl's voice, even through the modulator, you're like,
Can
okay,
you
who's the one girl in the
imagine
game?
if that was like an end of the game reveal? Like that would have been so stupid. We would have all known 5 seconds in.
Oh, yay.
But-
Man.
I thought she was like an interesting character. I'm not sure why they did the Tinkerer like that because she's not a character in the comics like that with Miles or anything like that. But I thought the story they were going with, especially with like the Harlem Pride, I thought it was like an interesting way to go.
Fair enough.
I thought it made sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of understood what you were going for. I didn't like her until the end of the game, which I won't really talk about fully, but also I guess JD and Tyler, you guys haven't really done it yet, but the collectibles in the game. In the first game, it was the backpacks that Peter left around. In this game, it's time capsules.
I did do those. I did the time.
Oh, you did all of them?
Well, it's because I heard there was a big wheel Easter egg, and I had to see that for myself.
I saw that on Instagram like the day it came out. It was like,
Yeah.
I think maybe Gavin posted it. It was like massive
Massive
Miles Morales
spoilers,
spoiler.
yeah.
And for some reason, like not even having played the game, I'm like, swipe. Then I see Big Wheel. I'm like,
Yeah,
Big Wheel.
it was so silly.
I saw what's this? Big wheel?
Big Wheel is just he was the big yellow wheel with the green guy in it. It was one
There's
of
an
the
account on
collectibles.
Instagram that wants to cast Adam Sandler as him. I see him on the Explore page constantly.
Yeah.
Big
Big Wheel's like a classic stupid Spider-Man villain.
It's like,
Oh,
yeah, it's like
okay.
it's pretty funny. So
He's like
yeah,
he's like the polka dot man for Spider-Man.
but
okay.
but I feel like he's kind of like a cult classic of a villain.
Yeah.
Like he's just got like a weird fan base. Like I love it.
Mhm.
It's great.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I heard
Now I
that
know
was
what you're
there, I had to
talking
collect
about,
them all.
Okay, yeah. It kind of adds to Finn's character way more than I thought the game did itself.
You know what, when you get to the Oscorp museum and all of a sudden you cut into a flashback, I swore that was just gonna be a cutscene, and then I'm playing as like younger Miles, and I'm like, why am I playing as Miles?
It felt like
Go,
that should have been somewhere earlier.
go find the reflector. No.
Like I feel like that should have been earlier in the game.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah,
cutscene.
it felt,
Yeah,
it felt
or cutscene.
very weird at the end,
It's
but
because
yeah.
they wanted.
I
I guess spoiler alert. They wanted that the Peter Parker.
Oh,
cameo
that
for
was
no
I
reason.
listened to the whole thing. I literally like I was
Yeah,
up
me
on
too.
Peter after.
I was
too.
literally up on Peter like, hi Peter.
I thought that was weird because it felt like fan servicey, but like it was fun.
So yeah, I guess for those listening, nothing to do with the plot whatsoever. But there is one scene during a flashback where Peter Parker has a cameo. It's
And
just Peter,
Otto
not
Octavius.
Spider-Man, just Peter Parker at a science museum with Dr. Octopus, just talking about science. You could choose to stand with them and listen to the conversation, or you can continue with the story. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure everyone was just like, "Hello, Peter."
Yeah.
But even after I followed him out too, you can't actually
Yeah, me
leave
too.
the building.
too.
But I was like, "Damn it! Oh, we gotta find Doc Ock. He's around here."
Yeah, when he's like, I have to go, and he's like, but you had to go yesterday, and it's like that's kind of what people do, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you
Um,
questioning why someone has to go? You're gonna become
guys-
a bad guy. I
You
feel
really
like.
gotta go, dude.
Did you guys see the post credit scene?
Yeah. Maybe let's not spoil that on the show.
Okay.
But it
It
leads
was
into it's
interesting.
basically continuing the post credit scene from the first game.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I was like, what should I say? But yeah, it was cool.
There
It's,
is
yeah,
It's
hard to talk
exciting.
about. It's hard to talk about it at all without getting into spoilers.
Yeah,
so,
it's exciting.
I get
um,
yeah, we'll just leave that for the people to find out themselves. But yeah, it was definitely interesting.
It's,
Now, what did you guys not like about the game? Was there anything that like stuck out to you?
I ran into a weird like I guess some of the stuff that stuck out to me, like there were glitches in my playthrough.
Me too.
I
Like-
also had some glitches.
There was a
Yeah.
glitch at the very end in the last cutscene where someone, a background character's like model, just expanded like all the
Both
way,
people.
and it was kind of like a boat. It was disgusting. They looked like a Silent Hill character, and it was actually freaking me out. And like I couldn't watch the final cutscene because of it. And then there was a second where Miles's head popped off, like the model disappeared. It was so weird.
Oh,
I
jeez.
I had one where he was heading up to the rooftop to change into Spider-Man, but he was still just Miles Morales, and I'm like ready to jump off the building. Like I was trying to screen record it on my PlayStation, but my PlayStation, the dinosaur that it is, sounded like a fucking jet engine trying to play this game. So I was like, and I couldn't screen record it. But for some reason he was just Miles. And then all of a sudden when I jumped off the building, then all of a sudden the Spider-Man outfit was on.
That's kind of cool.
I was
It-
having
it was-
fun.
It was
You
like when the
know-
Flash puts on his suit. I was like, whoa.
You know that big explosion Venom move he can do?
Yeah.
I like going up to, I like a stealth, and then I go up in the middle of everyone and I just do it and I blow them up. But I was having fun today and I was like, yeah. And then my game crashed like mid explosion. Like I got too hyped.
I can only
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
Tyler's face. He was like, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It was defeating. Yeah, I felt defeated, but it was funny.
I can't
Now,
really
now,
think of
now we
any-
talked about this.
bad
We talked about this in the
things.
group chat, but the reveal that Prowler is Uncle Aaron was like the lamest thing of all time. Like he's like, Miles finds out, right? And he's like, and by the way, I don't know if this is any vent you go down, but the first vent I went down had Prowler. I don't know if that's like.
I think
in
it's
that.
probably that way the whole time.
Okay, I went all the way to the left, and I'm like, Prowler on the first one. But anyway, he's like, oh my god, Uncle Aaron, you're a Prowler. All right, so what are we doing to get out of here, bro? like he's just like,
Yeah.
he's like has like
Super
this.
casual.
Now, obviously, you knew it was gonna happen. When you go through the apartment and you find like the Prowler case file and all that, and like there were little teases here and there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was like the stupidest, like, and Tyler had mentioned in the chat, like, oh well, Into the Spider-Verse already did the big reveal
Yeah.
on it, so it's not like
'Cause,
the
like-
game needed it, which I agree with. I
Mhm.
just felt like it was like such a stupid reaction. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Because I was
All
thinking
right,
about
so
how,
the plan is
I was thinking about how like when I saw Into the Spider-Verse, I knew already, that Uncle Aaron was
the theater.
Prowler.
The theater reaction was great.
But
though.
exactly,
Oh,
but
I
most
love
people
that.
didn't know, and that was not something that had occurred to me that people wouldn't know that. But when I saw that, I was like, well, it's done. Everyone now, from now on, everyone's gonna know. So like them not doing it, if they treated it like it was a big reveal, I think that would have come off maybe sillier.
That'd be
If
dumb.
they were like,
yeah.
if it was like a big dramatic, oh my god, it's Uncle Aaron, we would have been like, yeah, duh.
And you don't need that. You
I-
don't
I
need
just
it for
feel-
any
I just-
character, really. Look
I
at
just feel
Doctor
like-
Octopus.
I just feel like it would have been cooler if they did like the Miles kind of had suspicions, like how he obviously knew that Miles was Spider-Man, right? Like
Mhm.
if Miles had his suspicions about Aaron, because Aaron's kind of a shadowy figure.
Yeah.
He does not have the exaggerated swagger. Like there were signs all the way. So stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought the dialogue was so stupid there. And then later when you find out that he's working for the company and he's like, Miles is like, someone purple. It's like, all right, let's think, Miles. Who wears purple in the Rogues Gallery?
You know what though? I actually didn't put 2 and 2 together.
What?
I don't know.
Jesus.
He said someone purple, and I was like, someone purple. And for whatever reason, I thought of Thanos. I was like, and then it took me a second. I went, oh yeah, obviously it's the Prowler.
Can you imagine Thanos working for Simon, whatever the hell his name was? in this
Simon
game?
Krieger.
Simon Krieg, like, I'll take care of Miles Morales for you.
I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, what? Why?
In Tyler's
Yeah.
brain, he's like, purple, Barney the dinosaur,
Yeah.
Thanos.
It's one of the
what are we
two.
working with?
Let's
The
just quickly
Joker.
Google who's in the Marvel universe.
I was like, all right, maybe Miles isn't as stupid as I thought. I was just like, he was just like, purple. No, it couldn't be. Like, oh, you know who it is.
So I feel like this isn't really a complaint, but the game is short. I do hope there's DLC. But the game is short. When you beat the game, there's a lot to do. The last mission is really fun. You can replay any mission. Oh, by the way, for those that are playing at the moment, when you get to the last mission, make sure you wear the regular Miles Morales suit, because if you don't, you miss a cutscene, actually. A really brief cutscene. Did you guys both wear the regular suit?
Yeah.
No, I was wearing the winter suit.
Oh, you might have missed it. Or maybe you
were the
did for
winter
that.
suit? In the
Yeah, for
final
the final
cutscene?
mission. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of silly,
You
no?
goddamn fool. Oh man, I gotta go do this dramatic thing. Let me just get my
Yeah.
beanie.
My beanie and my earmuffs.
Hey man,
My
hey,
leg
man.
warmers. It's not
Hey,
very
man.
cinematic.
That the deaf girl that gave it to him clearly liked him. Okay, so
Yeah, I ship him.
That's true.
I guess yeah, but besides that, my complaints are only nitpicks in the end. So
yeah. Let's talk Easter eggs because I know there were a ton.
you got this, Tyler.
I can't think of any.
Oh my god.
I don't know why. I'm completely blanking. Like I liked no, I can't think of any. I really
So-
blanked.
Here's one.
There was a
I know,
photo Easter egg.
Like I guess this is kind of like the first game too, but Rhino in this game is Russian, which is the Amazing Spider-Man 2 reference, because in that game he's also, or the movie he's Russian.
Rhino's Russian in the comics too.
I was about to say, wait, isn't he Russian in the comics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you're reading
Alexei Sixevich.
Easter eggs in general, I feel like it was mostly Easter eggs to the first game, if anything. So if
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
go
look 'em
to the building that you fight Dr. Octopus in the end of the first game, it's kind of damaged. There's some dents in the building, some
okay, I have a
construction areas. There's a lot of just boxes around, like they're gonna do construction for this building. So
All right,
that's
I have a
Oh,
couple Easter eggs.
In one of the time capsules, there's a ticket that you find, and it's for Dazzler, who's
Yes.
X-Men.
Dazzler from the that was the weirdest reference because that means the X-Men exist and the
Yeah.
Dazzlers. But I love that. That was so stupid, but I loved it. There's a lot of Wakanda references,
Yeah, a lot of Wakanda
which I
flags and all
thought was
that.
really cool. There is
there's a reference
Like-
when during a time capsule where Miles talks about science and how one
Thor's
of his
hammer.
science classes talked about the physics of Thor's hammer.
Mhm.
Oh, what about Vanessa?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah,
Vanessa, when I was a
there's-
boy. Yeah. Wilson Fisk has kind of a very minor role in this game, continuing from where we last saw him at the beginning of Spider-Man PS4. I hope we see him more. I really like this
I
Fisk.
think he's definitely gonna come back. I don't
He's
think they're
gotta.
gonna. Yeah, I hope
he
so.
has to. You
I would hope
gotta,
so.
because he's really set up as like the crime boss of New York, and I really hope he's handled the way in the comics today where he gets the public on his side, which sucks for the heroes, but it creates a really cool story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want the public to be on his side, but it creates a great story. So I want it to happen for story wise.
There's also the I don't know if you guys saw the social hub. Like if you scroll through the, I mean, it's in the first game too, but Miles has his own like social media account, and you scroll through and you see like the responses people give him, like checking out his new suits or whatever. His name is Brooklyn Spider 42. It's because
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson.
yeah, Jackie Robinson. Yeah,
But like but it grows as you play the game. Like he starts off with I think 700 followers, and then when you beat the game, he's got like 13 million.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Jesus. One thing that's not really Easter egg, but I found really cool. If you change your suit in like the middle of the streets and people are walking by, they point it out. Like, "Oh, you just changed your suit. How'd you do that? That was so quick." Or
They
they'll
really did that?
question. Yeah, they'll question like, "Why you changing your suit so much?" Or they'll be like,
That's
"I don't
cool.
like that one." Or, "Hey, nice suit, Spidey." They actually comment on each suit.
Oh, when Miles does the finger guns, his like electricity comes out of it.
Oh, really? I didn't
He
know
can
that.
also salsa, which I thought was the best feature. in the
Yeah, you
game.
told me about that.
Yeah, that's got to be the best feature. Because now what they have to do is they have to have Peter breakdance as a button.
Oh God. No, the original Vibe in the comments, like I know we like Vibe in the Flash TV show. In the comics, he was a breakdancer for the Justice League of America in like the 70s. And can you imagine that being your only superpower, that you could breakdance? Yeah, that's
Is it because he was like a vibe? Like you break down a vibe?
yeah,
that why
like
he was called
he
Vibe?
was the,
Did he
was
have powers?
the Vibe. He would kill the Vibe. So CW Flash not comic accurate by not making Cisco breakdance, so therefore garbage. Anyway, you said breakdance, that made me think of that randomly.
Does he even have superpowers?
No, he just breakdances.
What?
He's like a Justice League like mascot.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Bad.
I had no idea.
Speaking of things that are not bad, good. This game, what's the overall rating? Because
Ooh.
that's
Well,
kind of
I guess
it's hard to put a
say mine
number on it.
first.
It is
Yeah,
hard to
it's
say.
short, so it feels like you can't really rate it as well as like a full-on game like Spider-Man. I have my problems here. There, most of them are nitpicks, like the superhero app, where they're just like, "Wow, we're like we're in the top 10 of all New York." It's like, then why are only 10 people using it?
Yeah.
that thing kind of bothered me a bit.
Or if someone really needed help right away, I'm making them wait like the whole mission.
Yeah. Be like, "Hey, there's people being held hostage right next to you." It's like, "Yeah, but there's a time capsule like a couple kilometers that way."
Sometimes that app baits you too, because it'll be like, oh, there's someone 100 meters away with a crime. You're like, okay, cool. You click it, and then it's like 1,500 meters away. You're like, no.
Well, one thing I really liked, and this is like, I loved, like, they kept saying this when they were building up the game, but all the attention into Harlem, like all the whole area, all the culture, it is so fucking cool. I loved it. I loved
Really well
like it's cool to just walk around.
Mhm.
All the murals and the flags, all the street art, and it's
Yeah,
so-
from all that, just the attention to detail, the footprints when it's snowing, how you
Yeah.
can change it. I like how they added a time of day to just like bad weather, just straight
yeah,
up.
overcast.
Yeah, overcast weather.
Central Park looks so cool with all the snow and the trees.
I like this gameplay way better than Peter's. I also like that they didn't make it like completely better than Peter's. Peter's gameplay in the first game is a lot faster, I find. He could swing way faster. He's got a bit different momentum to him, as opposed to Miles, who's a bit more slower. But in the end, I think I'm going to rate this game probably a 9. I can't really think of any flaws. So yeah, 9 out of 10.
I think I would go 9 as well. I think it's my favorite Spider-Man game purely based on bias. Like I know Spider-Man and PS4, the Peter game is a better story,
Yeah,
and I would say it even has better characters. But
agreed.
being in the world of Miles, it felt more fun to me than being in Peter's world. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. It's a fresh take for sure.
Yeah.
Listen, when my biggest problem with the game is that Miles' voice like is annoying, then that means it's a good game, because that means I'm nitpicking. So listen, I think it was a very good game. I really enjoyed myself. Like I don't know, this game kind of snuck up on me. Like I watched one trailer and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, it's here. So it's definitely, one of those games that I think is pretty memorable because it goes inside with the PS5 launch and all that, and probably would have been more memorable if it was on PS5, of course.
Mhm.
But
For us.
I'll take what I can get.
We tried.
But yeah, I would agree with the 9 out of 10. I had a ton of fun playing this. I would definitely do New Game Plus on the PS5 eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna wait for PS5 to do New
Yeah.
Game Plus for sure.
And it has me so excited for the next Spider-Man game. Like I think
Yeah.
like as you know, Spider-Man fans were getting fed pretty well. Even if you don't even like the MCU, there are other options. You know, the video games, the Into the Spider-Verse. Like there's something for everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The comic books.
And that's
Comic
the
books.
game review. We're just
Um,
under 30 minutes in.
Yeah. So yeah, let's run through this news because there is a
A
ton of
lot.
it.
I got this. I'll host the segment here.
Oh boy.
Bear with me. We'll start with live action news, then we'll go to gaming news, then we'll go to animation news, which is first in a long time, and then comic news. So that's how our news works here. We're just going to kind of go through this, give our thoughts, give our opinions, and tell you guys what happened this week in the superhero community. Start off with live action news. Yara Flor, the upcoming new Wonder Girl, or I guess Wonder Woman, is
Yeah.
getting a TV show by CW that's rumored to be called Wonder Girl, though. Yara Flor is a character that has not been in comics yet. Her first appearance is going to be in January in Wonder Woman. That's just what the title is called for DC Future State. Yeah. What do you guys think? A character that no one's read yet getting a TV show.
I have no real attachment. I mean, I like Donna and I like Cassie a lot,
Mhm.
but I'm not like, I know a lot of people are upset that this character who hasn't even come out yet is getting a Wonder Girls show over the Wonder Girls that have been there for years and years.
Yeah.
But I think this could be really cool. I think like you have a character here that has not been defined yet.
Mhm.
Like we literally have no idea what to expect. And I think
Yeah.
there's something kind of interesting about like when you hear about Batwoman, you go, all right, well, Batwoman was a character in the comics. I guess she's not now, but when you
Yeah,
went
another
first
new
season,
character.
you went, all right, well, I can kind of know what to expect. But for this, we literally have no basis for what this character can
We don't
be
know
or can
much
do.
about her. Yeah. Nothing
Yeah,
at
and I
all.
think there's something about that that's kind of intriguing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of nervous that the show is going to be completely different from the comic because sometimes the CW doesn't do the exact comic book origin. So it's going to be weird that we're going to have this comic book origin and then a couple months later a completely different origin possibly. So we'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see. What are your thoughts, JD?
At the end of the day, it's the CW. It's you know, it has no impact on me.
Yeah, I watched the pilot.
If it's good,
Yeah.
it's good. You know, it means that first appearance is going to be very valuable. Now, I said on the podcast that I wouldn't buy any future state. Do I have to buy it as a collector just to sell it?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Will I stoop that low?
Yep, you have to. I'm reading like 30 of these titles. So
It doesn't feel good.
at
Feels
least
bad,
join me. Me running this podcast in January. Speaking of Wonder Woman news, Wonder Woman 1984 is coming to theaters confirmed for Christmas Day. It's not going to be delayed anymore because it's also coming to HBO Max for those who do not want to go to the theaters, and for those who have it available. It's still not available in Canada for some reason,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's coming to theaters officially. No more delays.
It looks like New York is going back on lockdown anyway, but I don't even
Yeah.
think my movie theater ever reopened anyway. Like I couldn't see new
Oh,
movies
really?
or anything. Like I don't near me. They put like a big
I don't
sign.
think
like,
mine did
for-
either.
I don't think the theaters ever reopened in New York. So
Oh, geez.
I was not expecting to see Wonder Woman. I currently do not have HBO Max. I've been thinking about getting it. I figured I'd probably get it closer to the Snyder Cut, but now that this is going to be on HBO Max, I guess I'll have to get it for Christmas. So
Yeah, you may as well.
It's not a
Do you-
bad deal too. Like it's
listen,
gonna come
I
out- it's
and
gonna
I
come
and,
with it.
and I think this is the future of movies because I would far rather watch Wonder Woman in '84 in the comfort of my own home instead
Really?
of going to a theater. I'm not a big theater guy.
Oh,
I'd
am.
rather watch it at home.
Really?
I know.
I much prefer theaters.
Would
100%.
but would you have like it depends on the movie, right? Like would you have really wanted to see Endgame in your house?
I
What?
I
What's wrong with you?
literally could not hear Captain America. This is some JD ASMR, by the way. I literally could not hear Captain America say assemble because my theater was so damn loud. I hate that. The guy behind when Iron Man died, bro, the guy behind me was like he was like doing like a full fucking sniffle, and
the guy behind you was me.
I wanted to turn around and be like, is them tears?
I was like, that's
Probably.
pretty cool.
Bro, okay, for my theater, at
I was
least,
screaming during.
I was
it.
screaming too.
I
get
was
me
that
wrong,
guy.
Don't get me wrong. I love being hyped at movies. I just
Yeah.
hate people that have big reactions to movies. Like the entire theater like stood up during the
Charge.
Jonathan Majolner, and I was just like, I can't see.
Oh, really?
I-
I
So,
loved it.
Personally, I'd
I,
rather watch
I
it with some sort
popped
of mind
off
home.
my seat during that.
Oh, I was screaming. Like my dad told me to stop screaming. I don't usually scream during movies, but
I
like,
don't either.
I was
Ever.
yelling, "Where's Peter? Where's Peter?" And then he shows up in the portal. And I had to get told to
Really?
shut up.
Okay,
And then Tyler's father was like, Peter Star-Lord is right there, bro.
Yeah, that's actually what my dad said. Yeah.
Well, my theater wasn't like that. We didn't scream until Cap said Avengers, and then everyone was like,
No, I was
just
losing my mind.
gasping, and then he goes assemble. Then Thor screams, and Black Panther screams, and the whole
Yeah.
theater just erupted, jumped, and
No,
started
I was-
clapping and screaming. And
My theater was so loud, I literally couldn't hear the word assemble. I didn't even know he said assemble until I saw the movie again. I was like, oh, he says assemble there.
I was
that being
losing my mind.
said, I don't think any theater is gonna be like that for Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, yeah,
I
but
think it'll be
like-
a great movie, but not a hype movie.
I think Wonder Woman 84 is a movie like I'll accept watching at home.
I'm going to theaters. 100. Well, HBO Max isn't even available in Canada, and theaters open here in June, so I'll go to theaters 100%.
I've got
going
no
Christmas
choice.
Day.
Theaters aren't open, so
Yeah.
you know.
Fair enough. If they were open, would you guys go opening night? I know it's Christmas, so I don't know if you guys.
I don't think I would go on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't go on Christmas Day,
Yeah,
but
I knew people that like saw every Star Wars movie on Christmas Day. I'm like,
That's weird.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
don't you celebrate Christmas?
That's odd. Yeah, I've only saw one movie in theaters on Christmas before. It was the first Jumanji with The Rock. I don't even remember why. I think my family's just sitting around. It's like, let's go see a movie. Okay. Like, I don't know
I'm like,
why. I
"Oh."
mean, I usually don't do that, but I actually am getting my tickets for Christmas night for this one. I'm going with my dad. We're pretty hyped. So,
Now I get to. My mom doesn't like going to theaters, and now I get to see this with her on Christmas. So
Oh, that's good then. At least.
yeah,
there we go.
there you go.
Moving on to the news, sticking with DCEU news, we got our first look at Steppenwolf in the Snyder Cut. It's spiky.
It's so
gray.
stupid.
It's so terrible.
It's so
I-
fucking.
It looks
dumb.
like a Jim Lee cover from the '90s, like when he was
Yeah.
doing the Wildcat stuff. Like that's
Like, he looks like a shitty cable. Like you know, like when
He
Liefeld would
doesn't,
draw
but he
cable,
does.
he would do this. He'd be all spiky. He looks so stupid.
He does.
yeah,
he
it's
does.
bad.
Yeah, he looks like that drawing when Magneto pulls all the metal out of Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
He looks exactly like that.
But I remember, when Snyder was teasing on Vera or whatever the hell that app was, that the real Steppenwolf, that wasn't my Steppenwolf. My Steppenwolf's from BVS, bro. That Steppenwolf sucks. Steppenwolf just sucks in general, dude.
Yeah,
Justice
also-
League. I don't like the Justice League Steppenwolf, but I like it better than this.
yeah.
At least he looks a bit more.
They both look
humanoid.
like dog shit. Like I can't stand to look at
Yeah.
either. Like I
I'm
kept seeing
like-
comparison posts. I'm like, they both look so bad.
I'm praying it looks good in motion.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope it looks.
Oh,
good.
you
the
mean
armor-
you mean in motion when he's fighting Doomsday and that other gray monster?
Oh my.
Oh yeah, so that was
God.
also announced. Apparently, Darkseid and Steppenwolf are going to fight Doomsday in this. Huh?
What the fuck? Is it just because it's gonna be cool?
Gray CGI blob, gray CGI blob, gray CGI blob
With red eyes.
Yeah,
I mean,
one of them
why
is
would you
silver.
design
though.
Steppenwolf in the comics? Terrible character, background character, but at least in the
Yeah.
comics, he's a man with a beard and red and black
It has
armor.
a color. Yeah.
Yeah, he has color to him, not just gray.
Yeah, sorry. Best I could do is gray.
Yeah, he has red highlights in Earth 2 comics, which is where he's most known from, and
Yeah.
just regular comics. Why
Like
did you
Dark
not-
Side War.
Yeah, why?
Oh, don't get Hunter started on Dark Side War.
But he looks. He doesn't look cool. He looks like fine in every appearance, but now he just looks like stupid. Have you seen his
Terrible.
face? He's like got like a. Like he's all grumpy.
He looks like the
Grumpy
big
cat.
square things in Mario that like drop down.
Yeah. Like I don't know. He looks
A
so
Goomba.
silly. Yeah.
He's a gray Goomba. All right, yeah, he's dumb. Snyder also, I guess not Snyder, but Joe Manganiello released his first look at Deathstroke in the Snyder Cut.
Oh my god, why do I hate everything about the Snyder
Why
Cut?
does he have a mohawk?
Wait. First of all, actually, there was a Snyder Cut trailer, right? Like that was
Yeah, there
that
was.
also dropped. It's the same trailer in
It's
black
literally
and white.
the same thing in black and white.
There's like
literally
two
the
more
same song
clips.
too. Like
There's
There's
2 clips.
two,
It's
3 more
Cyborg
clips.
watching kids play football, and it's Cyborg
oh.
projecting Superman hologram.
And then something with the.
that's like when my
Amazonians.
professor's like the draft, but the final version of the paper better look different from the draft. I'm like, don't worry, it's different. It's in black and white now.
I had like 2-3 scenes here, but yeah.
Oh my god, I know notoriously I'm not the biggest fan of these movies, but like
Well, really,
Mohawk, a Mohawk
it's so
on
bad. It's
He
Deathstroke.
so
did,
bad.
man. He did for Greg Capullo.
That is straight out of Metal, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
Greg Capullo. Greg Capullo designs a lot of his characters with mohawks. Batman Zero
Greg
Year,
Capullo must have seen that
Joker,
Joe
Endgame,
Manganiello post and been like, yeah.
Wonder Woman for The Last Night on Earth. He likes mohawks. Why does he have a mohawk? Because he didn't in the original cut.
I don't.
And
He's
I thought
not,
he looked great in the
you know,
original
that
cut.
scene, that post-credit scene with Deathstroke, that was filmed by Joss Whedon.
It was?
Yeah, there's
Well-
like a behind-the-scenes thing where they clap the thing and it says director Joss Whedon. It's like that
Oh,
was
well,
never
his
Snyder, which
hair
is
was
so weird.
Good in that.
Yeah,
It was
it's
fine.
so weird.
But Snyder's like, oh, I gotta make it different though, so they know it's not my movie. Let's give
You
him
think Joker's gonna have a mohawk?
Oh God.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, or he's gonna have the like inverted mohawk. Where he'll have just
And you're gonna
nothing down
see
the middle.
you're gonna see movie pages on like Twitter and Instagram be like, oh, it's like Endgame. It's Endgame Joker. No, it's not. It's Joker with a mohawk.
Wait. What about when Lex Luthor pops up and he's only been getting his sides cut, so he's got hair in the middle? Because technically he's not bald in the DCU. He just got his head shaved,
Shouldn't
so he will be growing hair back.
shouldn't
those luscious
we
red
have
locks.
a metallic league of our own?
Yeah, a mohawk league of our own.
Yeah, I'm excited for Deathstroke. I'm really hyped for him. I think he's actually the part I'm most excited to see in the Snyder Cut, and I hope we get to see his character continue in future movies. I'm just
Most?
not a big fan of his look. Well, out of everything happening for the Snyder Cut, I think I'm most looking forward to seeing what they're doing with Deathstroke.
Okay.
I don't
Alright.
know, maybe that's just
Yeah.
me. Going with Marvel news, John Bernthal, who plays Punisher in the Netflix series that was unfortunately canceled, did a recent interview where he was asked about Punisher and said he's very hopeful. He described that Punisher is his character; it's in his bones. It's the most important role he's ever played, and he has high hopes for playing the character again in the future.
He
I don't think he knows
like,
anything,
He
but
was a perfect Punisher, man.
he was. Yeah, he looked the
Like,
part. He acted the part.
Beyond, like I know everyone says, oh, Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter and Mike Coulter, like they were perfect. Luke Cage and Daredevil, but John Bernthal as the Punisher is like as good as you can get. Like that's perfect casting. Man.
Mhm. It really was, and he loved the
Yeah.
role. And he says he has high hopes for continuing. I feel like it'd be really dumb if they casted a different person for Punisher, because
I don't
even
know.
people not into superhero movies watch Punisher.
Yeah.
Like Punisher was that show that everyone. was
Punisher's
watching.
like a weird like masochist thing anyway. Like a lot of maybe I'm gonna step on some feet here, but like a lot of weirdos really like the Punisher.
Yeah.
And so I think the Punisher was like that.
How many
demographic.
different logos have you seen within that skull, like on trucks and cars?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
trucks and
Like, who are you representing?
Stop using the logo.
Yeah, like you're gonna kill me? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, it's
Punisher's
so
not
You
weird.
see like the
not a
weirdest,
good
weirdest
guy.
logos inside of it.
Yeah.
You see like a Peace Corps logo inside the Punisher head, and it's like,
Like-
this doesn't even make sense.
And even
Yeah,
then,
or
when
like-
the series was canceled, we were all like, "Oh man, that sucks." But
Yeah.
those people on Twitter are like screaming, like
They're
Eminem.
Jerry Conway, who created the Punisher, like put out a tweet once. He was like, "Can the police please stop using my logo?" Like the Punisher is not a fan of the police. Like he's not your ally. Like it's so weird. I don't know why the Punisher is like this symbol now.
Yeah, it's strange. But as a Netflix show,
It was pretty good.
hope to see.
I like season 1. I'm not crazy about season 2.
Yeah, that's fair. But just the casting alone, I do want to see his story continue. Whether
I
it's a
just don't know
season
where
3
he's
of
gonna fit
Punisher, a
in.
new show, him appearing in another movie, getting his own movie, I just want to see that character continue.
Yeah.
Some MCU things started filming this past weeks, including Spider-Man 3, which already has been filming for a bit, but there were set photos a couple days ago showing Tom Holland and Zendaya strapped to ropes like he's carrying her again. Tom Holland in the same Far From Home suit, and Zendaya is wearing the same outfit as she was at the end of Far From Home, meaning that we're probably going to see the start of this movie be like right where we left off of his identity getting revealed to the
Okay.
world. That's
That's
where the movie's likely going to start. So I like that. I like how we're not getting like a time skip like Far From Home, where Homecoming ended with Aunt May seeing his identity. And it's like, oh, we'll never see that conversation. So looks like we're actually getting.
I larb you.
Yeah. Ms. Marvel also started filming. There's some set pictures of her riding a bike and wearing a Captain Marvel Halloween costume for a
Fuck
Halloween scene.
yes. That is
So-
so awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Literally, when I saw that picture, all I could think is like, Tao's gonna love this.
I loved it. It was so cute. It's like so cool. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
like Miss
I
Marvel.
love seeing Kamala Khan, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, it shows her climbing up the roof of a house. I don't think she has her powers yet in the scene, but probably just filming the pilot at the moment.
They're also wearing masks. I mean, maybe that's like just on precautions for set, but
I saw that too. Yeah, it looked like
Yeah.
they were filming and everyone was wearing masks, but like the actors. I
yeah,
don't think they're gonna do like
yeah, I don't think that-
COVID
a
happened in the
coronavirus-
MCU in 2027 or anything like that. Whenever this show takes place,
Yeah.
there's a Halloween costume leak for the Venom movie. It was Venom, Let There Be Carnage, or whatever the movie's called. Like that's what it's an official costume. It's the Venom suit, but it has the white spider emblem on the chest.
What?
So yeah, this was leaked a few days ago, and
Hold up. I'm gonna. Why would it have the white spider on the chest?
maybe he's getting the white spider in Venom too. Maybe.
Wow.
I think we've skipped over the more important here. Why is the sequel's name Let There Be Carnage?
I might have missed. It might be something else.
No,
Is
it is. It's absolutely Let There Be Carnage.
Okay,
Did,
yeah.
did they not learn from the post-credit scene of when I get out of here, and trust me, I will, there's gonna be carnage to pay. Like that was like so on the nose.
The
It's
whole
like, all right,
audience was the
better-
opposite of
all
Endgame.
right, all right, all right, Annie, Woody Harrelson, relax.
Raggedy Ann. But it's like, I mean, it's a better title than It's Gonna Be Carnage. Venom,
It's-
It's Gonna Be Carnage.
It's not much better.
Listen,
Yeah.
if I was on the Sony board, it would be Venom 2, the Electric Boogaloo, because that's the only way that they could salvage that movie.
So yeah, the Venom suit, which YouTube.com
With the
says
white
is story,
spider.
Tyler's showing now.
Weird.
It's a bad costume, but it is the white. If you look up
It's a
Halloween
bad
Well, it's a
costumes,
Halloween costume. What did you expect?
It's a bad
Do you expect Tom,
costume.
do you expect Tom Hardy?
cosplay.
Do you expect Tom Hardy in full CGI?
It's interesting. I think in the Ultimate Universe, he gets, I think in the Ultimate Universe, he gets the white spider because of Carnage. So
Oh really? Oh,
I think so.
good luck
That's in the
explaining
video
that to the
game.
audience. But yeah.
Yeah.
So now that's it for live action news. For gaming news, real quick, Avengers released a 9-minute video on Thursday morning explaining the future for the Avengers game. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I watched it when I woke up.
Cool. I watched it too. JD
watched it.
probably did. It's basically explaining Kate Bishop for the most part, just gameplay abilities and things like that. I'm just here to tell you, if you want to see the gameplay, go look it up. She looks pretty fun, but I'm just here to talk about the main points that they came across. So Kate Bishop's story is going to focus on time travel and Hank Pym possibly discovering time travel. Clint Barton, original Hawkeye, is missing in a different timeline at the moment in the future. So Kate's trying to find him. That's her storyline. The main villain for Kate is going to be Super Adaptoid, who is a very, very
Yeah,
classic
as soon
character.
as I saw that, I was like, what are we doing, man? We went MODOK for the main game. Now we're going Super Adaptoid for this.
Yeah,
like,
for those who don't know, he's basically a robot from
Yeah, next.
space.
Next is
That-
Stiltman.
Yeah, he's a robot from space from like the 60s.
Yeah, with all the
who-
Avengers. He's like a Mazo.
Yeah, he's basically a worse Amazo.
Yeah,
He has like an Iron Man face with a Captain America star on the chest.
and
It's-
Mjolnir. And
yeah, it's
Mjolnir.
terrible, but
Yeah.
that's the main villain for this storyline for some reason. So after this little video, they tease Hawkeye, who's gonna be the next character coming out for January. We don't know the exact date yet. And his main villain is going to be Maestro, who is that? Yeah, Maestro. That's how you pronounce it. I thought it was
Yeah. Maestro.
Maestro. Jesus, I've been pronouncing.
Oh,
it.
God.
I've known this character
Late-
since I was like
late-
a kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another week of Hunter's pronunciations. Thank you for listening.
Oh God,
This is the future imperfect-
Feige's gonna hurt me.
As soon as I saw Maestro or Mayo, whatever you called him,
May-
was- I was-
mayonnaise.
yeah, I was like that. I was like, that's what I want to see. I want to see timeline. It's the Avengers. Like, do crazy, stupid shit like Maestro, like Future Imperfect. Like, that's cool.
Mhm.
It's cooler than AIM. You know?
It's cooler than Super Adaptoid for sure.
Yeah.
So
and I think
Hawkeye's
that's
gonna be-
really exciting.
Facing
Like,
this
legitimately.
character. When they
Yeah.
showed it, it panned down to like below, like on his throne, and there was like a broken Captain America shield, a broken Iron Man helmet, Mjolnir's laying there, and Black Panther's helmet.
Mhm.
That was also one of the items that he was standing over. So kind of teased. People kind of assume Black Panther might be the one after Hawkeye, but it looks like that might be confirmed in this case. Like I said, early 2021. I think they said January. We don't know the exact date yet, but Kate Bishop is dropping December 8th for those few of you that want to get back into the Avengers game. I will, unfortunately. That's it for gaming news, I guess. For animation news, just real quick, a new Batman movie was announced again. Yay. Batman Soul of the Dragon.
What? A new this
Batman
this
animated
unheard
movie.
of indie character named Batman, who almost no one has ever heard of,
Yep.
got an animated. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
You guys
Mhm.
talking about
He got an-
Batman?
That's such a risk for WB to
It
make an
wasn't Green
animated
Lantern.
movie about Batman. I mean, I can't.
It's called
believe it.
Batman Soul of the Dragon. It's gonna be
Why is every
70s,
animated
I
movie
think.
Batman? I mean, why?
Yeah,
he
I hate it.
sells, I
Yeah,
guess.
he
I mean, I
does
get it.
sell, but
Listen,
Is
I-
anybody wait? What
I
is
get
this
it.
one about? Is this one like the Denny O'Neil, like the Ra's al Ghul stuff?
No, it's gonna maybe. I didn't watch the full trailer to be
I haven't
honest.
watched-
wasn't that
I
interested.
just saw like
Takes
a
place during the
picture.
70s. Like so
Maybe
it's
it's
kind of
not.
like how the Adam West anime movies take place during his time. This one's going to take place in the 70s. It's not the same timeline as the Adam West one, but
That's kind of Denny O'Neil's period, though, in the 70s.
Yeah. I
yeah,
think it might
yeah.
be.
I believe
Just
Bruce
says-
Lee's in it, and it's rated R.
What the fuck? Why
Yeah.
Why is it rated R?
It said for violence. When I looked it up,
Tyler
it
just said is rated R.
But sorry, but like what?
It just said
Bruce
violence.
Lee's in it, and it's rated R.
Because freaking DC wants to milk that, making everything rated R. I don't like
Wasn't
it.
that this week the Green Lantern stuff?
Huh?
TVMA Green Lantern.
Oh no, that was last week.
Okay,
Oh.
that was last
Yeah.
week. Okay.
For comic news, we got 2 trades announced. JD's favorite trade, my favorite trade. Batman Earth 3 Volume 3 is coming June 2021, and Mark Wade the Flash.
Earth. You said Earth 3. It's
I said Earth 3. I wrote down Earth 3 too. I'm an idiot. Batman Earth 1 Volume 3 coming June 2021, and Mark Wade Flash Volume 8 coming June 20.
Yeah.
Is that the
Final.
final Wade run? Wade
Yeah.
trade.
Well, I mean, technically he comes back while he has kids, but that's like everyone forgets about that. So, to me, this is the end of Wade's run.
I mean, it's finally happening.
It's
How long have you been
yeah.
waiting for this trade, GD?
I'd have to look up because I have everything on my Amazon account, but I think book 1 legit came out in like 2016. So like I've been collecting this series since I've been in high school, which is considering I graduate college in like 2 weeks, that's a little crazy.
It's like real time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's like you're actually collecting the issues.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have the whole run to me because obviously I recommend Wade's Flash to everyone, and it's like someone will go to me like, oh, how do I read it? And I'm like, you can read part of it. Now I could be like, you could read the whole thing and trade, and that's cool to me. Like I have the whole thing on my shelf, and it's just nice to be able to go from the beginning of his run to the end of his run all in 8 trades. That's awesome.
That's gonna look so good on a shelf too. Finally, nothing's
I got
incomplete.
I got those books, the Grant Morrison one, the Jeff Johns ones. Like my Flash collection is OP, and,
I would hope so.
yeah, it's good.
And for Batman, so Batman Earth 1 is my favorite Batman story ever. Both volumes I find fantastic. And they announced book 3 in like early 2017, I believe.
Tyler, I felt a comment based on that face you made.
Yeah, it's just I like Batman Earth 1, but best of all time.
Yeah, it's my favorite. I've read all the good ones. I've read Long Halloween. I read Year One. I've read
Yeah.
everyone's favorite Batman comic.
And
But
you
to
think-
me, Earth 1 was
Tyler, what's your favorite Batman comic?
probably Long Halloween.
Yeah,
I love
mine's
Long Halloween.
mine's Year One with Long Halloween is the runner up.
Yeah,
love
I mean,
Year
I
One.
love Earth 1, but I
I've
don't know.
I've
about-
only read the first volume of Earth One.
I've read it all.
It was so many years ago. I got to read it.
I think Volume 2 is better.
Yeah, I
with the
agree.
Riddler.
I agree.
I love that version of the Riddler. I will say.
Yeah. So how he's frustrated, and even if Batman
Yeah.
guesses the riddle, he still blows up the train, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love Long Halloween. I love Year One, but I prefer Earth One. That's my favorite story. So the fact that we're finally getting Volume 3 after Gary Frank was just like, "Oh, I'm working on Volume 3, everyone," in 2017, and then said nothing for 3 years, no updates on release, no
He was
art
busy.
reveals, nothing, and then finally here we are. It's finally coming out, and
I
we
didn't
got a
think we'd
cover
get
and
it
everything.
this early. I thought it would still be a couple of years before we got it. if
Really,
ever.
it might be
Yeah.
Aquaman for Aquaman Earth One's been delayed forever.
This has been
So
awful.
just I won't go over the plot too much because there's not much to said, but the main villain for this will be Harvey Dent. So
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
It said Harvey Dent. It's like Two-Face. It said Harvey Dent.
Isn't
So,
Harvey? I thought he
dead?
was.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Isn't his sister there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it said in the description, Harvey Dent. Is he really gone? Question mark.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, that's it for the news of the week. That's a lot of news. I probably missed something, but now we're in rapid fire comics.
The Rorschach cover is really cool. Like I just
Oh yeah,
wanted to-
pick of the
when I-
week cover in the week.
Literally when I picked it up from the shop, I was like, "Oh, this is a really cool cover."
It is cool.
I like that. Boycott because it's Rorschach, but as for my pick of the week, I'd probably give it to Aquaman. I like the end of the run. It's nice.
My cover of the week and pick of the week is both Aquaman, probably. The cover's beautiful. Just I got the regular cover, just Arthur and Mura on the boat with the sunset behind them. Great cover.
What is the? Oh, I haven't. I guess my cover of the week is Spider-Man. I only read 3 issues, but I guess my cover of the week and pick of the week would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was good. But the big
Aquaman
comic
sounds
that
good.
came out this week was probably Death Metal.
Why is Death Metal so trash? I mean, honestly, like Death Metal 1 had Tyler making a
I was up
conspiracy
till
video at
5
6 in the morning, 5 in the
Yeah.
morning. Okay.
Yeah.
And he had me hyped at 5 in the morning for
Yeah.
Death Metal.
Wait, what?
He
Tell the
made me
story.
he
Yeah,
made the
I
video
was-
he made. You remember the video he made?
Yeah, I made like a
No.
10 slide thing because I read the issue and I was like, holy shit. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I stayed up and I got on my mic and I recorded a whole thing explaining the issue. And then I put it into pieces and I put it up and I was like, this is awesome. And this is going to be the coolest thing ever. And it sucks. And what happened?
Then 5 issues
100%.
later, 5 months later.
It was literally like I remember when we said this has the potential to be Snyder's Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Oh
Snyder
God, I remember we did say that.
Snyder couldn't lick Jonathan Hickman's boot with this issue. It's terrible.
It's like I was thinking about this while I was reading it, but it's like you think about Secret Wars and the villain of that story, villain air quotes, is Doom. He's the
Dr.
protagonist
Doom.
and he's the antagonist. And it's about how he's like he has this power of God, but he's insecure about it because he knows Reed Richards is smarter than him and better than him and will come and usurp him. And the main villain of this is the Batman Who Laughs Manhattan.
The one who laughs now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh god, that's game changing.
Snyder didn't like how fans kept calling him, oh great, another Batman. Snyder can't write anything but Batman. Oh no, he's the one who laughs now.
See, every Scott Snyder comic to me reads like this. The editor was like, "Hey, Scott, maybe we should get rid of this. This is stupid." And Scott's like, "Yeah, look at these sales numbers. You see the
Yeah.
sales numbers? I'm gonna write what I want." And the editor's like, "Oh, okay, cool." I mean, it literally feels like it's just not edited.
Yeah.
It's absurd. It's so absurd. It's like the page.
The art's
I
nice.
hate
Yeah.
everything about this.
there's a Batman who's just Gotham City, but as like a Power Ranger mech. I offended people. Sorry, I'm not a Power Rangers fan.
It was cool. It was cool to actually see some lanterns.
Yeah,
that was
I don't
that was
know.
nice.
Yeah, some lanterns that aren't green. That was nice and all, but okay, what's the Justice League's plan here?
Okay, I think I understood it.
I don't think Scott Snyder has a plan on how to finish the series.
I think I got it. I was looking at it and I was like, so the rope that they keep talking about with these knots, the rope is continuity, the knots are the reboots. I'm pretty sure that's like the basic whatever, and that's like the metaphor they're going for. But what they have to do is they have to straighten the rope, get rid of the knots, and with that power, they can defeat Perpetua or the one who laughs or whatever. And what that basically means is that they have to go back, fix these crises, whatever, and then with that known knowledge, and they can defeat Perpetua. And they're saying like, we have to build. Yeah, Lex says, build my machine, use it to unknot timeline, and restore everyone's memories, and then you'll have enough power to fight them.
Now, wasn't
know
the
what that
plan at the
means.
end of Justice League 2018, right? Justice Doom War. Hey, we have a plan to beat Perpetua. Let's do it. 5 issues later of Death Metal, has anything actually changed? Like,
So yeah, that's what I was asking. Like, what is the League's plan? Like, Superman goes to the villains. Speaking of, the villains are like Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Riddler. He's like, I need you to destroy the world. Wait, huh? I get that they wanna like alert the one who laughs, like, hey, we're all gonna kill ourselves. You better come stop us. They're like luring him, right? What if that didn't work? Like, sure, what if that didn't lure him?
I thought that page was so silly where they're like, you sure you want us to save the world? And he goes, no, I want you to destroy it. Come on. That's like the cheesiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, and he's not standing there next to like big villains either. The biggest,
Yeah,
like the
he's-
strongest
yeah,
villain
Clock
there
King
is
is there.
Cyborg Superman.
Yeah,
Not even him.
and great goodness. It's like,
Yeah,
what is Clock King gonna do to destroy the world?
yeah.
He's
It's
gonna
just-
reset everyone's clock so they're on the wrong time. Oh man.
It's just more of a build-up
Chaos.
issue in the end, but the art was nice. The Wonder Woman's calling her army of Lobos her main men. That made me laugh.
I liked the panel with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman hugging. I thought that was nice, but also their
Yes.
designs are so silly. Like,
Yeah,
at least Superman, I can't stand this Superman design. I think he
I
looks so
hate it. The
yeah.
weird arm, the long hair, yet clean shaven.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the panel of them
Oh,
hugging was really nice, but it would have been
he's-
so much cooler.
He's got the Luke Cage chain belt.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does. It's so bad. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just the whole comic in general just seems weird. It ended with our heroes, which looks like pretty much every hero you can name is going to be in this, judging by the art, which is cool that we're getting like a ton of characters in there versus the last remaining Earths. So we know what that means. We're going to get a lot of characters fighting other characters that are all Batman, probably, because who else would you draw but Batman? I don't know. I like this issue when I first read it for some moments. Oh, my theory was correct. That was also everyone else's theory. Batman's dead. My problem with
I thought
that
they announced
is
that already, or they confirmed that already. I thought.
no, they didn't confirm that. This was the first time. So we
Okay.
thought we had a theory that Batman's dead. That's why he's using the Black Lantern ring because it's keeping him alive. He says, I'm just gonna quote him here. I'm dead, Diana. I've been dead this whole time. I died after the first battle with Perpetua when the Batman invaded. So I've been using the Black Lantern ring. I'm sorry. He died during the first fight with Perpetua? So during the whole City of Bane, he's dead? Like during the
Wait, what about in Detective Comics when he's like finding a Joker coin and like some random story that's also happening at the same time? Like
yeah, he's
it's no
dead?
continuity.
You're saying 3 Jokers, Batman's dead during that. Why didn't they just say I died recently? Why do you have to say I died like 2 years ago? Well, not 2 years ago, like a year ago. That means all these stories were just like, man, Batman's dead in that. We don't see the Black Lantern ring though, but he is dead.
I thought if anything, I thought Lex was written well in this issue.
Scott Snyder writes a great Lex Luthor.
I think he writes an okay Lex Luthor.
I think
I
he
think
writes a
his-
fantastic Lex.
I think like Superman Unchained, his Lex is,
Mhm.
but I think his
Superman Unchained is like that book that should be good, but it's just
yeah, but I think his Lex in Justice League is really good.
Yeah, I agree. His
Yeah.
Lex and Martian Manhunter are both fantastic.
Where
But
even
that-
is Martian Manhunter?
He was in
he's
the
not
Justice-
bad enough.
And what the hell?
He was
what,
in the tie-ins.
what are Wally and Jay and Barry doing? What are
They're
they?
just standing around? Why is Wally back in like his red suit?
Did
I thought
Speed
he-
Metal happen? Or
Speed,
did it
yeah,
not?
but Speed Metal
Was it
happened. He
just
ended it by
fan
him going
service?
back to
No,
blue.
yeah, but like, did it actually happen? Did it matter? Doesn't seem like it did.
Yeah, it's like it never happened.
Yeah, you ever read a comic that just makes you want to not read comics anymore? Because that was Death Metal 5. Like I literally read this and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this is just dog shit. Like-
This was the first comic I read this week, and then I read Spider-Man, and it was okay. Because I'm like, okay, there we go. Now it's back to good comics. So I guess, yeah. What do you rate Death Metal number 5?
Like -4.
Damn.
I'm gonna
I
go
hate
like a
this issue.
5, maybe.
I'm gonna go
6.
I'm gonna go straight up 6. Like I thought there was some cool art moments. There was a lot of Kirby Crackle. That was cool. I like when artists do that.
Yeah.
That's about it. The bat hug was nice. The Batman one, like the Trinity hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't take the comic seriously when Superman has like one mega arm and he has long hair. Like I literally
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
right,
It's like-
right off the bat, I can't take that seriously.
I think it'd be better if he had like a torn suit if you want long hair, you could do long hair, but give him a beard too.
I
To
just
show
wish
that
he
he's not
was-
like making sure
I
he's
wish he
just
was-
looking in the mirror and shaving himself as his hair.
I just wish he looked like Superman. Like Wonder Woman looks cool. I think Wonder Woman's got a cool design, but Superman just looks so dumb.
Yeah, Wonder Woman looks cool. I don't really like how she has the animal like skull on her
I like
shoulder.
the blue highlights.
Yeah, blue highlights is cool. I don't like Batman how he has the trench coat. That's yeah, they should have just kept their regular suits for this for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
Death Metal number 5. Rorschach, that was good, right?
Literally all I have to say about Rorschach is like it's a slow burn. Just keep.
But it's
keep-
good.
Yeah, it's good. But you got to keep journeying on. It's a Tom King book. It's 12 issues. Just keep journeying on.
When I read Rorschach, I forgot it was a Rorschach book until the end. When Rorschach actually appears, the whole time I was actually really into the story about this artist that's very shy and lonely.
Well, Caleb said like this story reads like the movie All the President's Men, which I definitely agree with. It's kind of like that little political thriller, and yeah, it's an interesting premise for a comic.
It's good. It's likely going to read a little bit better in trade.
100% is going to read better in trade.
Mhm.
It's like literally meant to be a slow burn book, and I had a feeling it was going to be like this from the beginning, but
It's interesting. It's entertaining. We don't really know the plot yet. This detective's really cool though. I'm liking this character a lot. The
Yeah.
questions he asked, like reading through the comic that the guy made and seeing the apartment room number and then going to that room and finding if someone died there. Like I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
this is interesting. And then the issue ended. I'm like, damn it. Should wait till trade, but here I am. But yeah, it was good. I give it like a 9. It might have been a pick of the week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good issue. I'll give it like an 8.
Might have been my pick of the week if it wasn't for Aquaman 65. Finally, we have a superhero wedding, the first one since the Thing got married like 2 years ago.
Did they get
Um,
married finally?
Yeah, Aquaman and Mera finally got married after
They got engaged in Rebirth, right?
2016. They got engaged.
What?
The wedding was put off by Dan Abnett. I think he was on Aquaman first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't want to do a wedding, so he killed Aquaman off for a little bit, and then Aquaman went to hiding. This whole thing with New King, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
was okay. When Kelly Sue came on, she focused on the wedding. Like this wedding had a huge build up, and yeah, it ended up being really cute how Arthur kind of surprised her with the wedding, with having using his powers to control like an octopus to start taking out a sailor ship in the distance. So then they ran over to the ship Aquaman and Mera, and they get on top, and turns out he was controlling the octopus, and the people on there are Mera's bridesmaids, and then like the whole league's there, and all these Atlantean people are there, and Jackson Hyde gives Aquaman like a fist bump, and then Aquaman's like, "If you will still have me, will you marry me?" kind of thing, and then they kiss, and it ends, and that's it for Kelly Sue. That's her run.
Cool.
Yeah,
Was
it was
it-
wholesome.
I like Kelly Sue a lot, so I would love if she got to do more at DC.
Me too. If
She
I were
could
to,
do Superman. Like
I hope she sticks with Aquaman. To be honest, after I mean, she kind of is forced to stop because Future State's coming out. If the next Aquaman's book's announced and she's on it, I would love that. That being said, Superman's a great idea for her.
yeah, she did Captain Marvel. She's like the reason Carol Danvers is a
Who
good
she
Captain
is
Marvel.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she changed Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel basically.
Yeah, she did the transition, and it's
To make gave her the new design and everything. Way better design, by the way. Her first design is pretty bad, but way better character in general. But yeah, I give this issue like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like a 9. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice wrap up to the run, and I think that in terms of Aquaman runs, it's definitely got to be considered up there, even though it's not that long.
It's only 15 issues, I think, 15 or 14 issues, so it's likely going to be collected in like 2 or 3 trades. I recommend it for when it comes out. Each issue is good. It's really good, and she does a lot of character development for Jackson Hyde, Aqualad. Some of you may know him as Calder. So yeah, fantastic run. I think that's it for. I feel like I read one more DC comic right now, but I didn't bring all my
Batman.
comics. Batman, yeah, that also came out. And I'm actually enjoying this arc with the Ghostmaker. Last time we talked about Ghostmaker, JD, I don't think you were on the podcast, but Tyler was.
yeah, it was me and Harper.
I've been placed.
You've been busy. Do you like Ghostmaker as a character?
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. I know Tyler's opinion.
I mean, I don't know. I've literally felt the same way on every Tinian Batman issue where I kind of just read it and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's the thing that happened. Like I don't know. It doesn't land with me and I don't really get it because it's honestly not bad, but it
No.
just doesn't land with me. I don't get it. I wish I did get it.
It just feels like how a Batman story should be told.
Mhm.
Like if that makes it just feels like a Batman story.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not bad at all.
Yeah,
It's
it just
good.
feels like
It's
like
just
this
not
is how
like
you,
amazing.
Like and I've had people DM me like, "Oh, you're so tough on Tinian's Batman." I honestly think it's probably pretty good. It's just I don't know, something about it just doesn't click with me, and I just can't get into it. And it's funny because I thought like anything after Tom King, because I didn't really care for King's Run. I thought anything after Tom King was going to be so good, and I'm kind of just like,
Yeah,
Eh.
I'm really enjoying like the focus, the more like the bigger focus on Harley. I don't know what that's about, but I think it's like to put Harley on this bigger focus and maybe transition to her into like a more actual heroic role. I think that's like an interesting way to take her, as opposed to is she a good guy, is she a bad guy, Suicide Squad bullshit or whatever.
Well, ever since like 2013, they automatically were like, "Oh, people like Harley, let's make her a good guy," and
But I like,
so
but like
sudden.
they never gave her like the development to do that. And I like that now they're sitting down and they're going like maybe Harley really is a good person and can be, you know?
This is the best Harley written comic I think I've ever had. Like this run in general, not this single issue. I just think this is the best written Harley as a hero that I've ever read before.
the only one that I'll give above it is I like her in Injustice a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, she's good in there. But yeah, as a canon comic, this is actually a good
Yeah.
Harley. I'm actually entertained reading Harley Quinn.
Yeah. I like it
say
too.
that. But yeah, I give the issue like a 8, I guess. I'm looking forward to seeing it continue, but I like Ghostmaker.
I go 8 as well.
Yeah, I would go like 7.5. It's cool.
I guess Spider-Man, we all read that.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
This is a cool.
It's so cool, dude.
Spider-Man's been the one that like I've been reading first. Like you would think that
Yeah, me too.
you would think that with an event book I'd be reading that first, bro. Death Metal, like I'll put that in my guest bathroom. I don't want that in my room anymore. Spider-Man was my first comic read of the week, and yeah, it's cool. I like Spider-Man.
It's so cool.
It's
I
really
don't know.
good.
The One More Day stuff is really getting to me, man.
Now, Tyler,
Yes.
can you like explain One More Day in like the easy, too long didn't read version for just people who don't understand? Because I have people DM me about it, and I truly don't know how to explain it.
Okay. All right. Have you read it?
Yeah, I've read it. I don't know how to
Okay.
explain it to
I've read
someone
it
who
too.
doesn't understand.
Shit. Okay. So
You got this.
basically, for everyone that doesn't know, what happened was in Civil War, the comic book Civil War, Peter Parker revealed his identity to the public, and he said, "I'm Spider-Man. I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 years old." And
J. Jonah Jameson passed out.
did pass out, yes.
Mhm.
And basically, this was always viewed as a very out of character thing. But what happened was, because of this, now Peter Parker's got a target on his back, and so the Kingpin sends an assassin to go kill Aunt May.
Mhm.
No, he actually sends an assassin to kill Peter. The assassin shoots at Peter. It misses. It kills. It shoots and wounds Aunt May. He goes on a big deal to go kill the Kingpin. And then what happens is the devil shows up, Mephisto, and tells Peter that if you give me something, I'll save May's life. And Peter and Mary Jane come to a consensus where the best thing to do is sacrifice their wedding so that May can live. But not only does May come back to life, Harry Osborn comes back to life, a bunch of other people come back to life, and Peter goes back to being like a 15-year-old kid in a 29-year-old guy's body.
Now, is there a world in which, because I feel like there's a lot of bad comic stories where we're like, well, if they did this, it could be good. Is there a world where One More Day couldn't be good? Because that really,
Could be good.
like, I don't see a
No,
pattern
never.
in which any way that story could be flipped. Like you changing
It's-
anything about it, like it's just a terrible concept.
It's because it's just the thing that like there's no reason for Peter to not be okay with the fact that May's gonna die.
Mhm.
Like she's already so old. Like the fact that she didn't die immediately from a sniper round, she didn't turn to dust, is insane. But he should get like he should
He
just
goes into the dust. Oh my
like
god.
but I don't know. Everyone just it makes no sense. And even it got to the point where J. Michael Straczynski, who his entire run had been building up the marriage again, he was forced to write One More Day, and his name is on the book, but he did not write those issues. It was all
Okay,
Joe Quesada.
interesting.
When I was at a Comic-Con and JMS was walking by us, and the guy that was behind me out in line was saying something. He's like, "Yeah, one more day, shit." And then JMS looks over and gives us like a little nod.
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
hates it.
he knows his shit
He hates
too.
it.
Because you're taking
Weirdly-
a character who was
Yeah.
married for so long, and you're just
20
like,
years.
yeah, we're scrapping that because we want the old woman that's barely in Spider-Man comics anymore to still be around and still
Well,
barely
JMS
still.
had made May like a main character in his run because she knew he was Spider-Man at that point. Like she had a lot to do, but like I don't know, Peter should move on. You know, he's always moved on. That's like
Is
part
she
of his
still
character.
alive in continuity right now?
Yeah, she's still alive.
Okay,
So
Yeah, doesn't she
I
have
can't
cancer?
remember.
Doesn't she have
She-
cancer from the
she
Tom
had-
Taylor one?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think so.
Okay,
Too many
so
too many spider
The
titles.
Amazing Spider-Man 53, the one that came out today. What
Yeah,
does that have
picked
to
up.
do with One More Day?
With One More Day. Well, the first couple pages are the exact redrawings of like when One More Day ended. Not those pages, the ones where Peter wakes up. And so in One More Day, what happens is Peter sacrifices the marriage, and then he wakes up in May's bedroom, or not May's bedroom. He wakes up in he wakes up in his bedroom in May's house, and he goes to a party. And in the party, it's Harry Osborn's back to life. He's got a new girlfriend. Carly Cooper's brought
Flash.
Yeah, Flash Thompson's back,
Mhm.
but he wasn't dead at that point. But he's back there.
Mhm.
Carly Cooper is invented. This other character is invented, and him and Mary Jane see each other, and then One More Day ends, and it's the worst comic book of all time.
But in this, we
And
see it
this-
continue.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about it.
I mean, essentially, they did One More Day because Marvel didn't want Peter Parker being a
Married.
grown man.
Yeah.
Yeah, married.
And they didn't want to divorce him because then he'd be a divorced guy. No.
Yeah, but now you have Miles Morales to be the young Spider-Man.
Yep.
So now you could focus
They
on
can
older
have their
Peter,
cake
make him a teacher again, please.
Hopefully, I hope so.
You guys see Miles Morales? There's a tease to him teaching.
I flipped, bro. I thought that was the
I
coolest shit.
gasped really
Yeah.
loud. My girlfriend was next to me. She jumped because
There's
we're
a-
quiet. Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah. I don't know if you knew that, JD, but there's a phone call. It's random that it happens, but Peter just like, oh man, I think I'm gonna need a job. The Bugle isn't paying much. And Miles is like, you should try teaching. And he's like, oh, maybe I should try teaching. It's like,
I didn't hear
that's
that
what he
one.
does.
Yeah, I was so excited for
It's the
that.
best
That's
job
the
that Peter
best-
has.
That's the best Peter job, I think.
That's
by far.
funny.
He's a teacher. But yeah, the issue ends with him waking up, I guess, from Harry Osborn, who killed him before, and him just revealing like it was me, Peter.
It's like
You remember in that time when you were having a dream and saw Mary Jane? It was me, Peter.
it's weird because Harry was brought to life. Like Harry was dead pre One More Day, and
Yeah.
brought back to life because of it. And so it seems that what happened was like part of Harry split into two, and one of them was Harry, and one of them was Kindred or something.
Mhm.
That's what it seems like is happening, which is I think an interesting way to go. But
Yeah.
I don't know who else they could do with that. Like because there are characters that were brought back to life because of One More Day that they could use.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are also characters that were invented because of One More Day you can use as well. Like
Well,
Carly Cooper.
I read the issue honestly like a 9.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to the next
I
one.
really like the horror vibes. Like Nick Spencer's killing it.
Yeah, no kidding. And I like how this arc is long. Like we're I think we're just halfway here, so we're still getting
Yeah.
into it. But yeah, last comic that I read, I'll just go over for like less than 30 seconds here. Captain America number 25. How am I still reading this? I don't know. Dropping it now though. This is probably my last Captain America issue for a while.
I feel like you said this like 8 issues ago.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up the next one, honestly. It wrapped up the arc that I can't remember what happened, but really most of this, because it's a double-size issue, anniversary issue, most of it was Captain America talking at a funeral to a guy who ran a diner that Cap went to when he was first discovered by the Avengers, and he had some alone time. He went to this diner and he talked to this guy about his life, and the guy talked to him about his life. And he passed away recently, but Cap just the whole thing is just Cap talking about this diner owner and how he was working like double shifts and another job, trying to afford to take care of his family in America. He was an immigrant to America, and Cap's like, that man inspired me, and to keep fighting the good fight kind of thing. And I was like, man, that's wholesome. That's nice. That story is a 9, but the story before that, wrapping up the last arc, is like a 3. So 3
Bounces
slash
out at
9
a
out of 10.
6.
Yeah, basically, I'm dropping Captain America, but I'll review the next one when the next issue's out,
Listen,
probably.
Winter in America, Ta-Nehisi Coates had me like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is Captain America now. And then after that, I was like, oh, this is Captain America now. Ew.
Hopefully the writer changes and we get a whole new story.
Okay, now comes the part of the podcast which you really came for, the fire story. Let's do
Forgot
it.
about this. Should wrote that down. All right, yeah. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Now I'll just simulate myself real quick. Last week I teased. We were talking about just random things last week,
Very random.
and one of them had something to do with fire. Oh yeah, me accidentally lighting my computer on fire and then throwing water at it and breaking the whole thing when I was a teenager. I was a stupid teenager, so that's what I did. This fire story happened December last year. So I recorded a hero story this week and I didn't say anything. I almost lit my entire house. Well, I lit a room on fire. I almost lit my entire house on fire if I didn't find out earlier. So I'll give you a layout of my house real quick, just to picture this. My house has like you open the door and my kitchen's like right there. I guess that's all the layout that you need. Not early morning, it's like 11 o'clock. I start work at 12:30 and my brother starts work at 12. And this is the coldest day of the year too. It is minus 46 outside Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
Minus 46 Celsius to Fahrenheit. Holy shit! No way.
What is it?
Negative 50 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
What?
So this was the coldest day of the year. It happens like once a
How
year.
are you even alive?
I don't know. It is awful.
That's
Did
literally.
you do it on purpose? You lit the fire on purpose? To warm
There are
yourself?
warnings that if you cannot be outside for more than like 4 minutes, like if you're
Yeah.
outside,
Why would you go to work?
Because I'm so scheduled. Everyone went to work. Yeah.
Negative 50.
Yeah, that is not even the coolest it's been here.
That's literally, I mean, if freezing is 32, that's like 80 degrees below freezing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So it's bad. That's the exact temperature. This is Alberta last year, December. Obviously, my brother starts work first. So he's like, all right, see you, Hunter. I'm like, bye. Goes outside, comes in immediately. He's like, bro, it's so cold. I'm like, yeah. He's like, my car's not starting. I'm like, well, obviously. I'm like, well, how am I going to get to work? So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go help you start your car. But I have to eat my breakfast. So I put bagels in a toaster and I go outside.
Oh boy.
I go outside and I'm out there for a long time, actually helping my brother out. And we have fire alarms in our house too.
Wait, I thought you can't go outside for more than 5 minutes. How are you not like freezing?
So my car started. Like somehow my car did start. So we get the pliers and I move my car to my brother's car and we hook him up so he could try to start his car.
You jump him.
So every once in a while, like every minute or so, he jumps in my car because I have the heater on and we go for like 5 minutes. And he goes back out, he tries it, then he goes back in my car because I have the heater on. It's not working at all. We can't get it started at all, but we try for 30 minutes practically. And then my brother's like, man, I'm going to be late for work. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go inside and eat because I'm going to be late for work now. And then I'll try again. And if I can't help you, you got to call into work. And then I'm going to go to work. I go to my house. I open my door and smoke just comes out immediately and the fire alarm's on and my dog runs out. She was like right at the door. I'm like, what the hell? And I go inside and there's just smoke everywhere. And I go into my kitchen and the entire toaster and the cabinet, I have the toaster and like a cabinet above, it's just in flames. Like completely on fire. And the wall's on fire and like the counter's on fire. And there's like some papers that are on fire. I had papers by the toaster. They're on fire. And I'm like, oh God. And so we have this thing, this fire alarm. If the fire alarm is still going on for like 3 or 4 minutes or something, it hasn't been stopped, then it automatically calls 911. Right?
Oh God.
So it's on fire. And I like, my dad actually has security cameras in the house too. And he has a video that I'll see if I can get of me of like smoke filling the whole house. And then I step in and I freeze. And I just like, I don't move for like 3 seconds. I'm in shock. And then I run outside to go yell at my brother to call 911 and grab my dog. And as soon as I run outside, I hear sirens and 3 fire trucks pull up. And they're like, get out of the way. and they run, and I close my door at this point for some reason, and they like kick the lock in, and they like go inside with a hose and they start spraying, and I'm like, oh no. My dad's a firefighter and he was at work at the time, but he works like in the city. He's not in like my area, so if my house is on fire, he can't come to me because it's too far. But, so they're spraying my house down, and I can see flames coming out like the doorway, and I'm like, oh no. And one of the chiefs is like, is this your house? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what happened? I'm like, I think I left the toaster on. He's like, but when you put a toaster in, doesn't it come out automatically? I'm like, it should. I've had this toaster forever. It should. And so I had to fill out this form, and my brother's filling out this form, and basically the fire department were only there for like 20 minutes. I had to shamefully call my dad after like I lit the kitchen on fire, and he ended up getting, he was kind of like, how the hell did you do that kind of thing. I'm now no longer able to make anything in the toaster without standing next to the toaster, just in case. I can't go outside for 30 minutes to try to start a car. So eventually they spray it down. They give me a rough estimate of like what to do. Like, don't go in the house for a little bit. Like, try to stay out of the house because the smoke's gonna be in there for a while. You can go to the basement because we have a basement, because that's gonna be okay for like not breathing in air. But don't go upstairs or anything because we need to be inside because of the temperature, anyways. Because there's a warning. I realized like, well, I'll just go to work, because if I go to work now, I'll be only 20 minutes late. So instead, I call my boss. And he's just like, hey, are you going to be late today? I'm like, actually, my house is on fire. He's like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, I can't come in. He's like, oh, no, I hope everything's okay. I'm like, yeah, it's probably fine. This was when the fire department already left. And then I went and saw Jumanji 2, The Rock. I saw that. It totally said going to work, even though I could have made it, just because I couldn't be in the house because of the smoke. Today, we did a few changes to the burnt things, but there are still, we kept the cabinet that actually caught fire. And there's burn marks on the inside of the door and the bottom. I'll post on my story on Comic Con.
That's character, yeah.
Damage. Yeah. We decided not to replace that, could be too much. And it's only noticeable if you open the cabinet or if you look underneath it. So besides that, it's not bad at all. They were able to get it out pretty quick. But we had to replace the toaster. Obviously. But yeah, that's the story of how I burnt my house down 11 months ago. Well, almost. If I started my brother's car and then drove to work, I think I would not be having a house anymore.
Well, the fire police, the fire
department got there. Yeah,
fire department. Yeah, that's what they're called. They would have.
Fire police.
I guess. Yeah. Well, if I just went to work, and we had an alarm system that didn't call the police, my entire house would have been caught fire. So, yeah.
Think about all the comics that would have been burnt.
Yeah, I know. I have such a flammable hobby. I had like bills or something down that caught fire, but I was able to get them back online.
I like the idea that it's negative 50 degrees outside, which I can't even comprehend. Like
how cold
like,
that is.
Like it was 20. It was what did I say? It was Celsius, 6 degrees Celsius, 21 Fahrenheit here.
-6.
I was literally like could barely move. Like I was outside for work and my fingers like couldn't bend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like so cold. Now take 70 degrees off of that, like I would literally die.
You go
Like,
outside
literally.
Immediately, if you like sniff, like your nostrils get stuck together. If you blink, if you like close your eyes for too long, your eyelashes start to like get freeze
Why do you
together.
live there? It just sounds like hell.
No, it's free. If you take a shower, if your hair's like just a little bit damp and you go outside, within a minute it
freezes.
Yeah, but that's like -20. It does that too. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I know you're Canadian, so you're kind of used to the cold weather, and you have like a resistance to
Well,
it.
even that's like so bad. That's extremely cold for anybody. If anyone's like, it's not too bad. No, it's totally bad. You can barely, it hurts to breathe. Like you feel it in your lungs. So there's warnings, like you know, you get Amber Alerts.
Yeah.
For like things, everyone in the city got an Amber Alert that it was cold. Like straight up, like don't be outside too long
really
unless you
cold
have like
today.
a heated car, or unless you just gotta get inside immediately. It happens like once a year that it gets like this. So, and it's usually January. So this time it was December though. I remember it was December because I saw Jumanji after, and it was like the opening day.
Is it kind of weird that Hunter brought up him seeing Jumanji and
yeah.
Jumanji 2 in the same podcast on
We call that
different stories?
a bookend. A perfect bookend.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot about
All right,
that.
that's a hero story.
That's a hero story.
Listen, if this is the kind of podcast you like to listen to, Awesome. Thanks for listening to the episode. If you listen on iTunes, we appreciate a 5-star review or whatever you think we're worth. I mean, we're literally giving you gold mines of stories here with the burned down house, and we bring you Tyler most weeks, so 5 stars is a very fair rating.
Of course.
Actually, somebody just gave us a 5-star review, I think last week, and I read it and I was like, that was so nice.
Oh,
So
nice.
thank you.
I haven't seen that.
But yeah, so follow, subscribe, whatever. You do what you do. I don't.
It's like 4 in the morning for JD right now.
I don't. I have work in like 4 hours and I'm scared. But anyway, let's rock it. Thanks for listening to a hero story. For a hero story, I'm JD.
I'm Hunter, and thanks for being a hero.
And remember, every second is a gift. Goodbye.
And that's Tyler. Blah.
Bye.